Welcome to my channel, where today we'll be counting down the top 10 anime where the main character is a legend but no one knows. First up on this list, we have the Misfits of Demon King Academy. In a distant past, a war between humans and demons brought about widespread chaos and bloodshed. To put an end to this seemingly endless conflict, Demon King Anos Voligold willingly sacrificed his life, hoping to be reborn in a peaceful future. In preparation for the king's return, the demon race created a Demon King Academy, an elite institution tasked with determining Anos' identity when he reawakens. He reincarnates 2 millennia later, but to his surprise, he soon learns that the level of magic in the world has drastically waned during his absence. Moreover, he enrolls at the academy to reclaim his rightful title. He finds out that the demon kind remembers him differently. His personality, his deeds, and even his legacy are all falsified, masked beneath the name of an imposter. This lack of common knowledge renders him an academy outlier, a misfit never before seen in history. Despite these drawbacks, Anos remains unfazed. As he sets out to uncover those altering his glorious path, he takes it upon himself to make sure that his descendants recognize that their ruler has finally returned. Coming in at the 9th place on this list, we have Plunderer. Elysia is a world governed by the Count, a number engraved on a person's body representing some task related to their life. These counts determine the person's social status as well as their power. If a count reaches 0, the person is sent down to the abyss, in a place rumored to be worse than death. Hina is a traveler, whose count is based on the distance she travels. After witnessing her mother's count reach 0 and get dragged down into the abyss, Hina, determined to fulfill her mother's last wishes, sets off on a journey in search of the legendary Ace, heroes of the war that happened 300 years ago, bearing a white star next to their count. While wandering around, Hina encounters Licht Bach, a mysterious masked man with a negative count, and Nana, an owner of a tavern. In the midst of having fun, Hina is tricked into a battle with a military soldier. However, despite his negative count, Licht rescues Hina and reveals that he has another count, one with a white star, one of a legendary ace. Plunderer follows the journey of Hina and other inhabitants of Elysia as they discover the truth about their world, the abyss, and the legendary aces. Making way for the 8th spot on this list, we have Strike the Blood. Kujo Akatsuki's days as an ordinary high school student in the demon district of Itagami Island comes to an abrupt end after a fateful encounter leaves him with the remarkable abilities of a vampire. It isn't long before he's thrust into the center of attention when it is discovered that he is the 4th progenitor, an immensely powerful vampire whom most consider to be merely a legend. Fearing Kujo's destructive potential, the Lion King organization sends an apprentice sword shaman, Yukina Himeragi, to monitor and, should he become a threat, kill the boy deemed to be the world's most powerful vampire. Forced together by circumstance, the two form an unlikely alliance as Kujo comes to terms with his abilities, and they both begin the struggle to protect the city from various emerging chaotic forces. Next up in the 7th spot on this list, we have Bloodlad. Stas Charlie Blood is a powerful vampire who rules the eastern district of the demon world. According to rumors, he's a bloodthirsty and merciless monster, but in reality, Stas is just an otaku obsessed with Japanese culture and completely uninterested in human blood. Leaving the management of his territory to his underlings, Stas spends his day lazing around indulging in anime, manga, and games. When Fuyumi Yanagi, a Japanese girl, accidentally wanders through a portal leading to the demon world, Stas is overjoyed. But just as he starts to feel an unusual attraction to her, his territory is attacked, resulting in Fuyumi's untimely death. As a result of this, she turns into a wandering ghost, and Stas vows to resurrect her, as this would mean being able to travel to the human world, something he has always dreamed of. Bloodlad follows Stas and Fuyumi, who is soon joined by a spatial magician Belle and a half-werewolf named Wolf, as they travel to find magic that can bring back human life. In at 6th place, we've got Noblesse. The Noblesse, known as Rai, is enrolled at Yiran High School by a servant Frankenstein, and is tasked to stay hidden from the sight of the Union, a mysterious organization out for Rai's blood. Rai commences his life as a student, making himself familiar with his classmates and the daily activities of humans. However, his new life is far from peaceful, and Rai is soon forced to save his new friends from the hands of the Union. Meanwhile, M21, a Union agent gone rogue during Rai's rescue operation, joins Yiran High School's security staff. On the surface, M21 is a prime and proper employee, but the truth is, he is shackled by his former ties to the Union and the inevitable consequences of betraying the organization. To further complicate matters, Noblesse Rias K. Landry and Sierra J. Loyard have also enrolled in the same school to investigate the Noblesse, while the Union is conducting a manhunt for M21 to extract clues regarding their missing agent. Rai is forced to keep up his hidden identity, while also being forced to protect all that he holds dear. Making our way to the halfway point on this list, and in 5th place, we have Katanagatari. In an Edo-era Japan, lush with a variety of sword fighting styles, Shi-Chika Yasari practices the most unique one, Kyoto Uryu, a technique in which the user's own body is wielded as a blade. As the enigmatic 7th head of the Kyoto Uryu school, Shi-Chika lives quietly in exile with his sister Nanami, until one day, a wildly ambitious strategist named Togami barges into their lives. Togami brazenly requests that Shi-Chika helps in her mission to collect 12 unique swords, known as the Devenant Blades, for the shogunate. Shi-Chika accepts, interested in the girl herself rather than the petty politics, and thus sets out on a journey. However, standing in their way are the fierce wielders of these legendary weapons, as well as other power-hungry entities who seek to thwart Togame's objective. In order to prevail against their enemies, the duo must become an unbreakable team as they forge ahead on a path of uncertainty and peril. Taking up the 4th spot on this list is To Your Eternity. An orb known only as It is cast down to earth to be observed from afar. Capable of changing forms from beings whose reflection it captures, it first becomes a rock, then, due to raising temperatures, moss. It doesn't move until one snowy day, where a wolf at death's door barely crosses by. When it takes the animal's form, it attains awareness of its consciousness and starts to wander with an unclear destination in mind. Soon, it comes across a wolf's master, a young boy waiting for his tribe to return from a paradise abundant with fish and fruit in the south. Although the boy is lonely, he still hopes that those who he holds dear in his memories have not forgotten about him and that they will be reunited one day. The boy wants to explore new surroundings and decides to abandon his home in an attempt to find the paradise using the traces that his tribe left behind. However, with heavy bodily injuries and no sight of an elder comrade, what will become of the boy? To Your Eternity illustrates the story of an immortal being experiencing humanity for the first time, meeting all types of people and adopting many cultures throughout its journey. Starting off our top 3, we have The King's Avatar. The anime follows the story of Yi Zhu, a professional esports player living in Hangzhou, China, widely regarded as the best player in the video game's history. Yi Zhu was a captain of the esports team Excellent Arrow, holding the account of the Battle God. However, this all comes to an abrupt end when he is forced to resign from the team, giving up one of the strongest accounts in the game and leaving behind the competitive scene due to his unwillingness to take part in a marketing ploy that would profit the team. Yi Zhu ends up finding work as a night shift manager at Happy Internet Cafe, where he meets Shen Guo, the owner of the cafe, who also happens to be a huge fan of Yi Zhao's former team, and is awaiting his return to the competitive scene. Now with a new passion for the game, Yi Zhao continues playing, as he begins building a new character from scratch and attempts to pursue the championship once again and regain his glory at the top of the esports scene. Coming in at the 2nd place on this list is the anime K. Kings are individuals who have been bestowed with incredible supernatural powers and granted the ability to recruit others into their clans. Protecting the lives and honors of their clansmen is an integral part of the king's duties. After a video depicting the heinous murder of a Red Klansman spreads viral, the unassuming student Yashiro Isana is accused of homicide. Now a manhunt is underway for his head, bringing him into contact with the infamous Black Dog, Kuro Yatagami, a skilled swordsman and martial artist determined to follow the wishes of his late master, the 7th King. Meanwhile, the current Red King, Mikoto Suo, faces his own imminent demise as the search for Yashiro narrows. However, in the midst of Yashiro's struggles to prove his innocence, an even greater conspiracy is beginning to unravel behind the scenes. As clouds begin to appear in his memory, and a close friend starts questioning his very existence, what began as a simple murder is now leading towards a full-blown war between kings, with the very fate of the world at stake. And finally, taking the number 1 spot on this list is Noragami. As a relatively unknown minor deity without any worshippers, the delivery god Yato is willing to take on any job for only 5 yen. with the goal of amassing a fortune large enough to buy himself a shrine. But in addition to the obscurity, he has another problem. His shiniki or weapon partner has decided to resign, tired of being with a homeless god. Left with no weapon, Yato takes on more jobs, hoping to find a new partner soon. While out putting up flyers for a missing cat, Yato spots the cat he was looking for and begins to chase after him, right into the path of an oncoming vehicle. Hiyori Iki, a nearby girl, rushes to push Yato out of the way and ends up hurt herself. After waking up in the hospital, she discovers that the incident has knocked her soul loose from her body. Realizing that it is his actions that has caused this, Yato promises to return Hiyori back to normal. But in order to return her to normal, he requires a new shiniki, which he is able to find in the rebellious spirit Yukine. Noragami tells a story of a girl walking the line between two worlds in a stray deity's quest for a place to call his own. Well, there you have it, my list of the top 10 anime where the main character is a legend but no one knows. If you made it to the end of this video and enjoyed it or found it helpful, consider subscribing to my channel, as I will be uploading new videos every week. In addition to that, if you have any genres that you would like for me to cover in the future, let me know down in the comment section. With that being said, until next time, signing out.